Most riders think they know their bikes. You got your controls, your indicators, your ABS. Nothing special, right? But here's the kicker. Some motorcycles are hiding genius-level features in plain sight. Stuff that never gets advertised. Stuff your dealer doesn't explain. And unless you happen to dig through the manual or stumble across it by accident, you'll never know it exists. So today, we're unlocking the kind of features that make you say, "Wait, my bike can do that?" Let's dig in. Number 1. Yamaha's D-Mode throttle mapping, found on FZ, MT, and Tracer series. If you've ever ridden a Yamaha FZ09, MT07, MT09, or a Tracer 900 and thought the throttle felt twitchy, you're not alone. But what most riders don't realize is that Yamaha quietly included a feature called D-Mode, a throttle mapping system that completely changes how your bike responds. Buried in the dash settings, or toggled with a handlebar switch on newer models, D-Mode gives you multiple throttle maps, A, B, and standard. Think of them like personality settings for your engine. A mode, the most aggressive, snappy, immediate throttle response. Standard mode, more linear, balanced throttle behavior for everyday riding. B mode, mellow and soft, great for rain or city traffic when you don't want jumpy inputs. Here's the kicker. Many owners ride for years and never even use it. They buy the bike, leave it in standard, and never touch it again, missing out on a feature that literally changes the entire character of the bike. It's especially useful on the older FZ09s, which had notoriously twitchy throttles in A mode. Switching to B mode smooths everything out instantly, without needing a flash or a tune. So, if you're on a Yamaha and haven't touched your D mode, dig into your dash, because your bike might be smarter and smoother than you think. Number 2. KTM's Hidden Key Location feature, keyless ignition models. Keyless ignition sounds fancy until you realize just how easy it is to lose track of that fob. But KTM saw that coming. On bikes like the 1290 Super Adventure and the Super Duke GT, they quietly included a feature that most owners miss entirely. A hidden backup slot for the RFID key fob under the seat. Some riders have literally paid for tow trucks because they didn't know it was there. Others carry a second battery or a spare fob when they don't have to. So, if you ride a keyless KTM, check under your seat. You might just find one of the smartest features the company ever added. And if you're still using the fob like it's made of glass, this little trick might save your ride someday. Number 3. Honda's emergency stop signal, found on CBRs, Africa Twin, NC750, and more. Ever grab a handful of brake and wish the driver behind you actually noticed how fast you were slowing down? Well, if you ride a modern Honda, especially models like the CBR 500R, CBR 650R, NC750X, Africa Twin, or Goldwing, your bike might be looking out for you more than you think. Because buried in the electronics is a panic brake taillight feature called the Emergency Stop Signal, or ESS. Here's how it works. If the ECU detects a rapid deceleration, usually during hard or emergency braking, it triggers the rear indicators to flash rapidly, similar to hazard lights. This strobe-like effect makes it crystal clear to the driver behind you, "Hey, this guy's stopping now!" Then, once you're below a certain speed and stop safely, the flashers shut off and your normal taillight returns. No buttons, no toggles, no rider input needed. It's fully automated. It's the kind of clever safety tech that could literally prevent a rear-end collision, but almost no one knows it's even happening. Most riders discover it by accident or hear about it from someone else. And if you're worried it'll annoy people, tough. A pissed-off driver is still better than a distracted one plowing into your rear wheel. So, next time you grab all the brake you got, your Honda just might have your back and your tail. Number 4. Triumph's Hidden Service Mode, Street Triple, Bonneville, Tiger Series. Triumphs are known for their style and performance, but under that retro modern charm is some seriously clever engineering that most owners never even notice. One of the coolest hidden tricks? a secret service mode that's built into the dash of many models, like the Street Triple, Bonneville T120, Speed Twin, and Tiger 800-900. With a specific button combination, usually holding I or menu button while turning the ignition key, you can access a diagnostic mode that cycles through all dash warning lights, ABS and traction control indicators, gauge needle sweeps, and even system checks for turn signals and neutral switches. It's not just for fun, it's actually useful. If your warning light is acting weird, or you suspect a stuck sensor, this mode lets you manually verify everything's working. And while most riders never touch it, mechanics use it constantly because it helps diagnose issues without plugging in a laptop. Even better, some versions of the service mode will show fault codes directly on the screen, saving you a trip to the dealer just to learn your side stand switch is loose again. But Triumph doesn't advertise it. Most manuals don't explain it clearly. And that means unless someone tells you, or you stumble across it while pressing buttons, you'll never know your bike has this whole diagnostic tool built right into the dash. Moral of the story, if your Triumph feels off, don't guess. Press, hold, and check. Number 5. Hidden helmet locks on Harley-Davidson touring models. Harley riders love accessories, but here's the thing. Some of the best features are already on the bike, if you know where to look. Take the big touring rigs like the Street Glide, Road Glide, and Ultra Limited. Most owners ride for years without realizing Harley hid the helmet locks inside the saddlebag latch system. Yep, there's no dangling cable or external hook. Instead, Harley integrated a small metal tab on the inside of the saddlebag latch. You slide your helmet D-ring over it, close the latch, and boom! Your helmet's locked in. No keys, no cables, no bolt-on gadgets needed. But it's subtle. Most riders just pop open the bag, grab their stuff, and never notice the little slot meant for the helmet ring. And Harley doesn't exactly go out of their way to explain it in the owner's manual either. So instead, people spend $50 on bolt-on helmet locks, or worse, they carry their helmet around the bar all night like it's a purse. Now, granted, it's not the most secure system in the world. A determined thief with bolt cutters could get through anything. But if you're running into a diner or parking at a rest stop, it's way better than nothing. And it's already built into your bike. So next time you're locking your Harley saddlebags, take a closer look. Your helmet's home might have been hiding there all along. Number 6. Aprilia's starter button engine map selector. RSV4, Tuono V4, etc. You'd think the starter button just starts the bike, right? Well, if you ride an Aprilia RSV4 or a Tuono V4, that little red button is pulling double duty, and most riders have no clue. Aprilia baked in a clever shortcut that lets you change engine maps and rider modes on the fly using the starter switch. Here's how it works. Once the engine is running, pressing the starter button again doesn't engage the starter motor. Instead, it cycles through different ride modes like track, sport, or race, depending on the model and year. No separate toggle, no menu diving, just a quick tap of the button you already use every ride. It's especially handy on the fly. Let's say you're cruising in sport mode and suddenly find yourself on a twisty back road. Just hit the starter button once and boom, you're in race. No awkward throttle off, no menu screens, no buried options. Of course, this is Aprilia we're talking about, so the interface is about as intuitive as a microwave from 1987. But once you know the trick, it's one of the slickest shortcuts in the superbike world. Just don't hold the button down, unless you want to accidentally kill the engine at 80 miles an hour. Moral of the story, on an Aprilia, your starter button is smarter than you think. And if you never tried it, you're probably still stuck in sport mode wondering why your throttle feels lazy. Number 7. Suzuki's low RPM assist. Found on SV650, V-Strom, GSX S750, and more. Stalling at a red light isn't just embarrassing. It can be dangerous. And Suzuki knew that. That's why they quietly added one of the smartest hidden features for new and returning riders. Low RPM assist. It's available on models like the SV650, V-Strom 650, GSX 750, and even the Katana. But most people don't even know it's working because that's the point. Here's what it does. When you start to let out the clutch, the bike's ECU senses the RPM drop and automatically bumps the throttle slightly to prevent stalling. It's subtle, you won't hear the engine rev, but the bike gently holds the idle up just enough to let you get rolling smoothly, even if your clutch work isn't perfect. This isn't a throttle nanny or a traction system. It's more like an invisible safety net for low-speed riding. Stop-and-go traffic, slippery conditions, first time riding a big twin, low RPM assist helps you launch without jerking, lurching, or stalling, even if you're a little clumsy with the controls. And the beauty is, it's always working in the background. No buttons to press, no settings to adjust, it's just smart fuel mapping disguised as smoothness. A lot of people think they're just getting better at slow-speed control on a Suzuki, but the bike's secretly giving them a hand the whole time. So, if you ever wondered why the SV650 feels so beginner-friendly, now you know. It's got your back before you even hit 2,000 RPM. Number 8. Kawasaki's Economical Riding Indicator. Found on Ninja 400, Z650, Versus, and more. Most riders only look at two things on the dash: speed and gear. But Kawasaki quietly added a little icon that can teach you how to ride smoother and save fuel, and almost nobody pays attention to it. It's called the Economical Riding Indicator, and you'll find it on bikes like the Ninja 400, Z650, Versus 650, and even some Vulcan models. It's just a tiny symbol, usually a bar or the word ECO, that lights up when your bike senses you're riding efficiently. That means smooth throttle input, low RPMs, and minimal engine load. Now, here's where it gets interesting. It's not just a "nice job" sticker. That icon is linked directly to the ECU. If you adjust your riding style to keep that light on, you'll actually see a real improvement in fuel economy, engine smoothness, and even tire wear over time. It trains you to ride smarter without saying a word. You'll start to feel when the light stays on. You'll naturally ease off the throttle, shift earlier, and smooth out your inputs. All of which makes you a better rider, not just a more efficient one. And it's not some boring commuter feature either. Even sporty models like the Z900 have it. But nobody talks about it because it's not flashy. It's not loud. It's just quietly helping you ride better every day. So, the next time you see that little eco light flicker on your dash, that's your bike giving you a thumbs up. Number 9. Ducati's lap timer mode activated by high beam flash. Panigale Series Multistrada V4. Leave it to Ducati to hide a track day weapon in the most Italian way possible. On certain models, especially the Panigale V4 959 and even the newer Multistrada V4, Ducati includes a built-in lap timer. But instead of using a touchscreen GPS beacon or a fancy switch, they let you trigger it by using your high beam flasher. Yep, on the straightaway, you just tap the high beam flash button and that starts or marks your lap. It's pure race-bred design. No fumbling with menus, no external gear, no Bluetooth nonsense. Just a flick of your left index finger and the onboard system logs your time and stores the data for review. Even better, it's integrated with the bike's ride mode and traction settings so you can correlate lap times with electronic adjustments. Now, here's the kicker. Most owners never use it. They buy the Panigale because it looks like a missile and sounds like war. But the bike is literally tracking laps behind the scenes if you ask it to. You'll find this feature buried in the dash settings, and unless you read the manual or spend time on Ducati forums, you'd never know it existed. So the next time someone tells you they're saving up for a lap timer, just smile, because if they ride a Panigale, they've probably had one the whole time. Number 10. Yamaha's Hidden Diagnostic Mode via dash. MT-09, Tracer, FZ Series, and more. If you ever had a check engine light on your Yamaha and thought, well, guess I'm going to the dealer, you might want to try this first. Many Yamaha models like the MT-09, Tracer 900, FZ07, and even some R-Series bikes come with a built-in diagnostic mode hidden in the dash. And no, we're not talking about a simple warning light check. This thing gives you real codes, lets you test sensors, and even run system functions like turning the fuel pump on and off without plugging in any tools. Here's how it works. With the key off, Hold down both dash buttons, usually select and reset. While holding, turn the key on. Keep holding until the dash enters diag mode. From there, you can scroll through different code numbers and test outputs, like the TPS, that's the throttle position sensor, coolant temp, ECU voltage, and more. Some bikes even let you manually trigger the fuel pump, ignition coils, or fans for troubleshooting. This is literally the same mode your dealership uses with their scanner, but you're doing it for free with your own fingers. Now, be careful. It's not idiot-proof. You can screw things up if you randomly start toggling sensor tests. But if you know what you're doing, or you're willing to look up the codes, it's an insanely powerful tool hiding in plain sight. Don't let that dash just show speed and fuel. It's a mechanic's toolkit right under your nose. Number 11. Moto Guzzi's self-calibrating traction control, found on V85 TT and V7 series. Here's something even seasoned riders overlook, especially if they never swung a leg over an Italian oddball like a Moto Guzzi V85 TT or the latest V7 model. These bikes feature a self-learning traction control system that automatically adapts to changes in your tire size, wear, or even aftermarket wheels without requiring a dealer reset. Why is that a big deal? Because most modern bikes with traction control rely on preset parameters. If you swap to a different rear tire profile or change final drive gearing, you'll risk messing up the system. Some bikes freak out, flash error codes, or cut power at the wrong time. But Moto Guzzi? They included a function called rider calibration that lets the ECU relearn wheel speeds on the fly. All you do is enter calibration mode, ride in a straight line for a few hundred feet, and the bike analyzes your new setup. No dealership needed. It adapts to the new rolling circumference and adjusts TC behavior accordingly. It's one of those you'll never know until it saves your butt features. Most Guzzi owners don't even realize it exists until they read the manual or stumble across it after a tire change. So, while Moto Guzzi might be better known for quirks than tech, this feature is pure genius. And it keeps your electronics working right no matter what tires you slap on. Sometimes the quietest brands hide the smartest solutions. Most riders never dig into their bike's features because nobody tells them they're even there. But sometimes the smartest upgrades aren't the ones you bolt on. They're already built in. From secret map switches to panic brake flashers, hidden helmet locks to anti-stall tech, your bike might be way more capable than you think. So, what about you? Did we just reveal a feature you didn't know your bike had? Or do you know another secret that needs to be exposed? Drop it in the comments, share the knowledge. And if you like this one, hit that like button and subscribe for more no BS motorcycle wisdom. Ride smarter, ride sharper, and check your damn manual. You might just find a superpower in there.